How you doing, guys? My name is Ace, and I just want to talk to you about some tools that I'm using to reduce token consumption for both OpenCode and Claude Code. This is especially true if you're using the AI, the terminal to run your AI. So, for example, I have here, this is my dot files. I have a bunch of files here, and if we're to look a bit further, we'll see that I have like all of these files. Normally, when we're talking with the AI would constantly need to read the files, but it doesn't need to read all of that, not even when it was created, which we don't really care about all of that, right? So if I were to run RTK, which is a CLI tool, and I'm running LSLA, you would see that from this more exactly, to this is quite substantial. It will just give you the gist. And as long as this files and the more files that you have in the same directory grows, this turns out to be much more efficient. This is one of those tools that it's incredibly convenient to have, and it just saved a bunch. Well, from their benchmark, they actually saved quite a bit. So this is the RTK logo, pretty sick logo. But they had already did their like Claude Code session benchmark for whatever, and it will just work, and it looks pretty great. And it depends on like how frequent you're using them or with what you're using them, but it just reduces the amount of tokens substantially. The disadvantages that this might have, it's it's true that it's also a CLI tool, but something need to inject itself. Like for example, the AI behind the scene runs LSLA. Something, the plugin, runs behind the scenes and add the RTK to this command for each command that it identifies. This is also Rust-based, so it's pretty fast. Next, DCP, which is mostly for, I just noticed, mostly for OpenCode. I'm sure there is something pretty identical for it somewhere else, but for now we're talking about the OpenCode variation of it, which is dynamic context pruning, which gives your agent a tool that it can call that would compact itself. Now it does it slightly different than how the compaction tool in OpenCode runs in general. And the main difference is that the compaction doesn't run on an agent request, but from DCP you can do it. And also DCP has a bunch of commands and it's pretty awesome. Now, the disadvantage that I have for this tool is, well, it's more about general disadvantages that I have with general tools that require compaction, is that if I have an agent's ND or a definition for how an agent should behave, compaction would normally destroy it or would disregard it after compaction. I don't know why, it just constantly does it. And it's something that you need to watch out. So if you give your AI free rein on a long running task, DCP might not be a good tool. So if I'm running, for example, let's just say I'm running, let's just open up Claude Code or OpenCode, and I'm gonna run DCP. So DCP would give you a list of all the different things that it can run. And one of the things that I try to do on a long running task, I'm trying to run DCP manual off, or just say on. And then it means that the AI will not be able to compress those tools themselves because it's only manually. And also you can decompress, recompress, which once you're compressing, doing undo to those tools is kind of difficult. So just keep that in mind. The last tool is more not like a tool, but just about a way to think about it, is a caveman. Now, I've tried to use caveman for a while, and it worked decently well. There was a funny instance that it just like completely shat on what my code base was, but you just need to watch out because this tool could be quite destructive. So caveman is just talk simply. Don't talk like a salesperson. Just talk about it simply. Just remove everything that is not reasonable. And as you can see, I have light, full, ultra, and and that just completely I said I was about to say Chinese. I think it's Chinese. The reason is that token consumption reduced dramatically when you're writing in Chinese. The reason behind it is the amount of bits that Chinese letter contain versus English, and much more word can be described in a more compactful form. I'm against going all the way. You could, but just against it. What that would work for most of you would be between light and full. Ultra is just a bit too much. And yeah, just like if you wanted your AI to keep it simple and just read stuff correctly, it just works. I disable it completely for my projects because I just noticed that it just doesn't, I don't like it, but it did help me when I use it with token consumption in general. I recommend all of them. Obviously, I'm going to keep all those three in the description below, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I talk to you guys later.